Cloud. My name is Steve, and I am the CEO of IntelliCard USA. And tonight we have Ro Jones. I'm just going to call you Ro.
Okay.
Now, Ro, are you still the executive sales director, or do you have a brand new title like Super VP or something like that?
I am executive sales director.
All right. Ro is the executive sales director for OMG My Credit. And Ro and I have known each other now almost, believe it or not, 3 years, by the way.
Are you serious? It has been 3.
That's right, that you've been a customer of ours, and so thank you for that. And I have to tell you, so if anybody wants to find out more about Ro Jones, you need to go to www.roshandajones.com. That's www.roshandajones.com. And what that will do is, believe it or not, that will actually take you to her digital business card, which I'm just going to share on the screen for a quick moment, so people can get a look. I know you said we need to do some changes.
Yeah, I got some updates that's gotta come.
So we got to make some updates, which but here is Ro's card. Again, it's www.roshandajones.com. And that will take you directly there. So, Ro, let's talk about what it is that you do for people that may not understand. Now, I know this has been a crazy year for everybody, and I'm sure people's credit scores are, either going down or, floating around. But, a lot of people out there are hurting, and I'm sure they're using more credit now than ever before.
Correct.
So just so people know, Ro is a credit consultant. Correct. Is that fair enough?
Yes,
fair enough. Okay, so Ro, let's talk about what is it you do? How does it work? How do you help people?
Cool. First, before I even do that, I just want to tell you thank you for the opportunity to even share this information with people. Like you said, we've been doing business for 3 years. I totally adore my card. I love my card. It makes life so much easier. So again, I thank you. So what I do is help people either build or rebuild their credit. Like you said, we're in a very weird time right now. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, many have lost their income or are living on less than what they previously were. And the moment that you're losing income, you're going to run into some credit issues because you're not able to maintain the accounts that you have when you have less income coming in. So we have some of the great things about the pandemic is that, we're not running dead spend. Like, we've been in the pandemic the whole year. So by now, after 6 months, someone would be running into foreclosure without payment, right? So obviously, because of the conditions of our economy, there's some grace, right? But majority of people, as you said, are living on more credit. So the debt to income ratio has now widened. And causing people to drop in scores. Of course, obviously, if we're not getting the typical amount of money that would normally keep our houses afloat, late payments are adding up. So the American people are taking hits to their credit.
Sure. Now, there are so many different ways that you can help. It's not just, helping somebody with their credit scores. If you're a renter out there, a lot of people don't realize that you can actually put your rent payment up on your credit score to help you there as well. And I know you have some, secure cards, and you have so many other different ways of helping people. And you're so right. Now that we're into this pandemic, which it feels like it's forever.
Right.
And now people are starting to, if you didn't feel the pinch before, you're certainly feeling it now.
Correct.
So again, so exactly how, for example, Ro, if I came to you and said, all right, Ro, I want you to help me raise my credit score, because I have to tell you, I've seen your Instagram post, I've seen your Facebook post, I've seen people's score go up 200 points.
Yeah.
250 points. And I'm sure everybody out there that's listening to this wants to know, wait a second, how can I do that?
Right. Well, okay, so it's really not hard. You know, a lot of times people seem to think that they're stuck with what they have, and it's not a life sentence. It's a decision. And so that's the biggest hump, is making the decision. Once you've made the decision that you are now going to hone in, focus on your credit, which means now you're going to do the necessary things to correlate to improving the credit. Discipline has to come into play. Once
Right.
you've gotten there, now we can start putting some things into place. There's a couple of things that can happen. Obviously, if we've got negative items, and when I mean negative items, I mean charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, student loans. Sometimes child support is there, or any
Right.
public record could be on your report, causing the score to go down. Those things would need to be disputed. So that's the first thing that we would do, is begin to dispute the negative items from the report. The second thing is, sometimes we have a combination of both. You have negative items and not enough positive accounts, which that's what I'm seeing a lot of now, which is really it's just really great to see that people are now starting to recognize, wait a minute, I need to make sure I got good credit. So if that's the case, if you're looking at your credit report and you're below 11 accounts, then we need to start adding more positive credit. So just as Steve may mention, if you're renting, that's your largest bill. You absolutely want to use your largest bill to boost your score by adding your rent to your report. So it actually looks like a mortgage. And if you're trying to buy a home, the underwriter is going to ask you for your rental payments anyway. It's just so much more easier for you to already have it on your report and benefiting from it. The scores actually, believe it or not, can jump anywhere from 20 to 130 points in a matter of 45 to 60 days,
Wow.
which is really huge. We just recently partnered with Equifax. Originally, it was only with TransUnion. Now I have Equifax on board. So we literally can shift that middle score all the way around because we're able to hit both TransUnion and Equifax. Obviously, if you're trying to buy a house and you have no credit cards, you're not trying to buy a house.
Right. Unless you have a suitcase full of cash, but
Right.
that's for another right. That's for another conversation, right? That's for another
Exactly.
conversation.
Unless you have a suitcase full of cash, you are not getting a mortgage. You need credit cards. And that's probably one of the biggest conversations that I have to have with the American people, is that we don't know how to use them and we're afraid of them. There's nothing wrong with credit cards. Credit cards are perfectly fine. In fact, credit cards you really do want them. It's just our discipline. That's what's wrong. We have poor discipline for our credit cards, and how we think to use our cards are a problem. Most of us want to live off of our cards. Use your cards to make money, right? So if I've got a card that I can actually flip properties with, my card is an asset. But if I'm just buying clothes and food, my card is a liability.
Well, that's it's interesting you say that, because again, it's the mindset, right?
Right.
Most people use their credit cards and say, all right, it's okay, I don't have to pay for it for 30 days, or I only have to pay a minimum amount, but they forget that there's interest involved, and
Exactly.
your minimum amount might be 30 and you pay it off, but you're actually only paying like 19, because there's
Exactly.
$11 in interest, and it keeps compounding month after month after month. So again, this is a great topic, especially now going into 2021. People need to learn how to use their credit cards as an asset instead of a liability. And I'm sure a lot of people out there listening are wondering, well, how do I do that? So if you've joined us late, because Facebook seemed like we're having a problem, we're speaking with Ro Jones, who's the Executive Sales Director of OMG My Credit. And if you want to visit her website, I'm going to send you there. It's www.roshondajones.com. That's www.roshondajones.com. And that will take you directly to her digital business card. And, Ro's been with us now for 3 years, and we couldn't be
I'm not
happier.
going anywhere.
Oh, great. That's great. And I know your team is growing. I know that. So Ro has been doing some great things. And again, we could sit here all night and talk about how to help you repair your credit. But again, the best way to do this is, if you're watching, we're going to put this is up live on Facebook now. It's going to be up on our YouTube channel later. You really have to go visit www.roshondajones.com. And I say it 3 times because they say in marketing, if you repeat something 3 times, people will actually catch it. So, Ro, you've mentioned renters, you talked about credit cards, and people want to know. Well, we're not going to give them the secret because we want them to call you,
Right. But it's
right?
no problem.
But
It's
they
busy
need
bee
they
season.
need but they need to know that they can put their rent on there. I know Experian does some stuff like boost your credit score,
Right.
where you could add bills. And again, listen, if you're just a regular person out there, which we all are, why do it yourself when you can have someone like Ro Jones help you out? Fair enough.
Very fair. Very
So
fair. And I'm glad you put it like that, because a lot of time I hear that frequently. A lot of times people want to do it themselves, but they really don't realize the tedious work that's in it, right? Um, you want to be dead on, spot on the money. So some key things that I like to remind people when they're getting started with credit restoration, because the typical time frame is about 5 to 8 months. Sometimes it can be 6 to 12, depending on how tragic it looks, if you will. And then some, like I had a client in September, had 11 items on the report, 9 were removed in 3 weeks. He's
wow.
practically done, right? We just needed to add some new things to the report. The key here that you have to remember on why it may take so long, it doesn't have to take 2 years, right? Your creditors subscribe, they pay to report. And based off of what they're paying, reporting usually only happens once a month. So
Right.
that's the time frame. That's the gap in time. So some like, it's not moving fast enough. It's not moving fast enough. Well, they only report. So even if a change happens at the beginning of the month, you got to wait till the next month for it to show.
That's right. It's a cycle. That's right.
You gotta let the cycle go. So that's the biggest part for most people, because we're in a microwave society. We want things like this, and credit restoration does not work like that.
That's right. And it's funny because I was just going to say the same exact thing, is that everybody wants now, now, now. Hey, Ro, why did it happen? You said you can do it. People don't realize that, it takes, just because it took you, 30 to 60 days to go into a credit hole, it's going to take you a little longer to get out.
Exactly.
Okay. And, it's funny. And I have the same thing. I get people that say, well, something, Steve, I want to go build my own card. I want to go do it. I can do it for free myself with an app. Yeah, you can, but it's not going to be the same. You're not going to be able
It's
to keep up
not.
with it. And not only that, with today's apps, if you want people to track you, and if you want to be, bombarded with stuff, go ahead. I always tell people, look, you get what you pay for. And my whole philosophy, and not only just in this, but in life, is that if there's someone out there that will do this for me and will do it better than I can do it myself, and maintain it, and follow up, like you said, the tedious work,
Right.
I'll pay the money to do it. And when you're talking about credit repair, of course, there's a charge that comes along with Ro, just like there is for our digital card. Our card's only $99 a year, Ro.
Yeah.
And
I love
and
it.
and we could talk about the changes that we've made, which we don't charge for. And again, think about if you had your own, and I know how busy you are. Would you want to spend the time, away from your family at night, fixing your digital card if you had to maintain it by yourself?
Nope, not at all. I actually, have some graphics and web design in my belt. Okay, I'm a jack of all trades. No, I would not. To answer that question, absolutely not. I would not want to. In fact, that's the reason why I help people improve their credit, because the time that it requires to do web design and graphics is costly. No, I would not want to do my own card. Not at all.
And just like I wouldn't want to do my own credit report and
Yeah.
credit repair, and God help, hopefully I never get there, but you never know. I mean, things could happen. 2021's around the corner.
Right.
But and again, if you're really looking, and if you're serious about help, whether your credit's about to go into shambles, you're in shambles, again, it's www.roshandajones.com. Visit her, call her, and she'll help you. And of course, it's a lot better than you doing it yourself, because trust me, Ro knows the ins and outs of the credit world better than we could ever know it. It's just like, why do something yourself when there's someone out there that's more educated and understands the business a little bit more? So,
And it
Ro,
doesn't have to take long. It really doesn't. Some people need to just add to the report. And if that's the case, literally in 60 days, you can have a whole new score. Before we end, I would just like to encourage those who have children or young adults at the age of 17 and 18. You can start helping them build their credit by simply making them an authorized user on your current credit card with no late payments. With no late payments. All right. And make sure that when you're using this particular card, if you are going to use that card, keep that card below 30% because whatever you do with that card, it is the same as them doing it with you. So you literally can have your child be established at 18 with absolute amazing credit. So if they're going away for college or, trade, whatever it is that they're deciding to do, they've already mastered that portion. So we can definitely change the trajectory of how things are. I know my parents didn't teach me about credit. I had to figure it out on my own. And that's typically what I hear from my peers. But we can literally change that for our children by giving them a leg up. But in the process of giving them a leg up, giving them the responsibility of learning how to maintain the new score.
that's a great tip. Now it's only if we can get the 17 and 18-year-olds to work.
Right.
Times are different from them we were growing up, but listen.
They want to DoorDash.
Again, listen, I just wanted to say, Ro, thank you so much for taking the time to get on with us and talk a little bit about and give people a little tease for what you do. And again, www.rashondajones.com. You could find her because once you plug that into your browser, her digital card will come up. It has her phone number. You could email her. You could call her. You could text her. Just, contact her if you need help. Don't let it get too bad. So, Ro, I want to thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you so much. It's so wonderful doing business with you. No one tops your customer service.
Well, thank you.
No one.
That's it. I'm honored. That's a humbling statement, actually. You know why? Because people forget nowadays, again, the microwave society. The one thing I feel that's a forgotten art is support and customer service. So, we try to do our best, and I want to wish you and your family a happy. And I know Cedric's your husband, right?
Yes.
You see, I know that. You see,
yes.
We follow you.
Yes.
And I think he just had a birthday not too long ago,
yes,
didn't he?
Yeah, you are so good.
Yeah. So please wish Cedric Lanier Jones, right? See, we got you.
That is amazing.
I got you.
You do.
I got you. So we wish Cedric a happy birthday, happy New Year, happy holidays for you and your family, and God bless you guys. All right.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your service. I'll be right here in 2021 rocking with you.
You got it, Ro. Remember, it's www.rashondajones.com. Ro, you have a great night. Peace.
You guys too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.